Okay, time for me to update my video blog. And this week I was blogging about um, how we, as in home computer users and business computer users, tend to upgrade our computers way too much. And I titled that article I wrote, or the blog I wrote, "All Anyone Needs is a 266 and Windows 98." And I thought this was pretty interesting this week, as we get into summertime here, and people are leaving their computers, at least here in Wisconsin, inside in favor of warmer weather and anything other than sitting at their computer. And it kind of got me thinking about when I used to work for a computer repair company, and we were constantly upgrading computers for people who I knew never needed it. And that was kind of the overall theme behind this article. And, I really just kind of got into a little bit about how, about 5-6 years ago, I had used to be upgrading computers, at that point replacing them, on a daily or weekly basis for companies. And, knowing full well all they really needed to do was get a fresh copy of Windows on them, or some slight upgrades. And I talk a little bit about why that might be, and a couple things I touch on is how software makers like Microsoft, who we all obviously use it for using Windows or Microsoft Office, continually release new software and are able to successfully rebrand it to us, the consumer, thereby requiring faster computers to run it, and therefore driving the hardware market. Software is driving hardware. And I think it's probably always been that way. In the gaming industry, it's certainly prevalent. And even in the home user industry, I recently installed Office 2007 on my laptop, and had to upgrade my RAM just because running that thing just totally bogged down my system. And so I try to pose a question, of people who are running out and buying new computers and upgrading their home computers, just to really think about how, what they actually need, weigh your needs against your wants. And I think you'll be pretty surprised, if you're honest with yourself, how long that computer you've got sitting on your desk is really going to run, given the proper upkeep. And really, I narrowed it down to two reasons why this epidemic exists. One, which is kind of like the real reason, inadequate monitoring of computer use and real upkeep. In an office setting, nobody watches what people do with their computer. People are constantly downloading stuff and installing things that shouldn't be, uninstalling things that they shouldn't. I use the example is that there are businesses out there that I still service that are running Pentium 2s and Windows 98, and they're blazing fast, and they're perfectly fine for what they need. And they get it. They're not wasting money on IT. Granted, I understand there's situations where you need to upgrade, but what I'm trying to say is there aren't that many. And really, the second reason I had was whining. And it's true. In the office setting, you have employees constantly whining about how slow their computer is and this and that. And then you have uninformed people at the top who eventually either A, get sick of hearing it, or B, they don't know any better and they just buy new computers only to doom themselves to the exact same fate in 2 years. It's like, if you don't correct it, what are the sayings, if you don't learn from your past, you're doomed to repeat it. Well, it's totally true in computer use too. I mean, if you don't get to the root of why these people's computers are slow, and you simply put a new one on their desk, guess what? In a year or two, you're going to be having the same conversation with them for absolutely no reason. And this goes for home users too. Kids whining, your husband or wife whining about it. That's pretty darn annoying too. And maybe you whine yourself a little bit. I really recommend reading this article, obviously because I wrote it, but also because I think it poses some good things to think about before you spend money. And I know computers are cheap nowadays, but upkeep is still cheaper. And using your computer correctly each and every day is still cheaper than buying a new one. I don't care what anyone says. So my blog is at BeyourownIT, BeyourownIT.com. We have a whole host of other free utilities that will help you make your computers last a lot longer. And come by, stop, check it out, and comment. Maybe you think I'm totally off my rocker. Tell me. I'd like to get some interaction going on my blog, and that'd be great to see you guys come out, and hopefully we can help you. Have a great night.